One way to say goodbye to summer if you live in the Toronto area has always been the CNE. You can always find spectacular carnival foods there, but of course this year it's been canceled for our safety. Now you can still get your fill of those fair foods with the help of one Randy Feltus. He's got, are you ready for it? Chocolate covered bacon for us this time. And here's what you need for this recipe. You need bacon, of course, some dark chocolate chips, some peanuts, and smoked salt. Okay, Randy, I have to say it's pretty cruel of you to be making this recipe when we're not in studio and I can't do a taste test. But go ahead, show us how to make the recipe.
I know it's kind of tough, Trace, you know, and when we're talking about carnivals and we're talking about fairs, I'll be honest with you, I would be okay with just a strip of bacon, but it's not that way. They've got to go over the top and just keep it going. So let's focus first and foremost on the bacon. What I love, this is actually a President's Choice product, and this is thick cut. You can see how thick that is. Double smoked bacon. And the reason why you want the thick cut is it doesn't shrink as much. We always got to avoid the shrinkage when we're talking about bacon. So we're also going to put it onto a tray to bake it, and this way it's going to kind of stay flat and kind of keep its original shape. And we're going to start it off in a cold oven and then bring it up to 350 degrees. What that'll do, it'll render out the fat really nice and slowly. It'll keep the bacon in a long strip, and then we'll just do a, you know, by the way of TV, that goes into the oven, and 20 minutes later, we've got this product. Perfectly flat, nice and crisp, looking great. And we've got to take that out of the delicious grease and make sure you keep that. Does Leo keep the bacon fat at home to do different things, Tracy?
Absolutely. It's like you and Leo share a brain. He keeps all of the fat and then uses it later for other stuff.
Because he's a pro, he knows what he's doing in the kitchen. We never throw anything out, and it comes in so handy if you want to, like, I don't know, toast a croissant or sear off a steak, I don't know, almost anywhere. So then what we do is we get ourselves a large skewer, and we just kind of go back and forth and weave it through. You know how your grandma used to sew the bottom of your pants because you're too short in grade 9? That's exactly what we're doing here. We're just hemming up that bacon like that. And like I would say, like this for me, at a fair, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take 6. That's a great treat. No problem at all. But we're not going to stop there. I've got some semi-sweet chocolate here. I got it on a double boiler. You always want to do this because chocolate loves itself and it hates water. So if you add water to the chocolate, it's just like it's a bad relationship. It's going to get all clumpy. So if you want to keep it smooth like this, then you just do the double boiler and make sure the water doesn't come in. It'll heat up and it will basically just get super smooth. And then all we're gonna do is kind of paint our bacon. I mean, we could dip it in there, but basically you're gonna take your spatula and just paint this sucker up. Kind of hold it here, let it drip a little bit. So here it is. Now we gotta kind of talk about toppings, right? So first thing I'm gonna hit it with is some smoked salt, because salty chocolate and bacon, I mean, that kind of works for me. The next thing I'm gonna do is I've got some hot chilies here, and I'm just gonna like as thin as I can possibly go, and then it's just gonna get sprinkled on there. Like, that's starting to look pretty good now, isn't it? And finally, I've got one last super move for you, because this is the fully loaded version. I've got some toasted peanuts here, you know, because a little bit more salt never killed anybody. And it's gonna go in the pestle and mortar, and then I'm just gonna like give it the onion, smash it up a little bit. I mean, I could be here for some of the day, make peanut butter, and that would be a nice combo, but we're gonna leave it a little bit crunchier than that. So here we go. Then we take this chocolate stick with the chilies, the salt, the peanuts, and down it goes. We're gonna let that cool and stiffen up, and away we go. Now, you can do it this way, or you could add coconut, you could add mint, you could add almost anything else, but there it is.
Randy, it looks amazing, and you know what? You haven't made it, like you haven't gone over the top. I also would have been just happy with bacon on a stick, but then bacon and chocolate on a stick, bacon and chocolate with some heat and some peanuts, some crunch on a stick. It's all good. Like this is good quality carnival food. I love it. Now, you can, of course, find that recipe on our website. That's cityline.tv. And I know you're not going to try it now until it cools down, but if you want to make this at home, it's actually pretty easy. It's time for a quick